Anyway, a lot going on. Of course, the Emaus Theater. I'm not sure which one's which.
Real quick, for those of you coming to the Emmaus show tomorrow night, sadly, I will not be in attendance. Not to get into every detail, but we had a bit of a medical scare today at the Agar house. So I apologize to anyone who is coming out tonight to tomorrow night to heckle and or record my set. I will make it up to you and give you front row seats in Point Pleasant.
So he's already plugging the other dates. That's what you do when you have a medical emergency in your house. You're plugging the other dates. Anybody who went there, please DM me or whatever. It's gonna. I mean, listen, you don't have to be a fucking brain surgeon scientist to figure out what happened here. They're not going to make any money. So Shuli's the one who has to basically fly there, which even when I set up the gig, I'm like, wait, so Shuli's going to fly up for Emos Theater to sell 40 tickets, and they're going to split it by 4 ways, and Shuli's got to pay air, and it's just, Shuli's an idiot. He's a fucking loser, and everybody sees through the medical emergency. Of course, conveniently, there was a medical emergency the day before he was supposed to fly. Actually, he was supposed to fly that day, probably. Conveniently. Unbelievable. Oh, look who we got. First team is not here. First team is not here. I just want to make it clear.
Bring in the scrubs.
Bring in the scrubs.
What? I thought I was the hot hand. I thought I was the hot hand.
All right, go ahead. What's your take?
What? I mean, does the guy ever do the shows that he books? This is the second time in a row in less than just a few weeks. He fucked up that one out in.
No, he couldn't go to Oregon. Something always happens. Oregon was the club fucked up, and this time somebody got ill. Somebody be illin'.
Yeah, man, he's got to take care of his family.
But what are the odds that the one day he has a medical emergency is the one day he's supposed to fly to Bob's house and make no money? And wow, the universe does provide, like Gino Bisconti says. He didn't want to do the gig because he wasn't going to make any money. And then conveniently, somebody got ill in his family. There you go. So he didn't have to do it. He never gives any details. Isn't it funny? No details.
Yeah.
Just a medical emergency. Guaranteed he goes live tonight.
Well,
he'll do one of his. When Shuli goes solo, you know what he does? He watches clips. That's literally what he does. I'm not kidding. He gets high and watches clips. And watches. I think he calls it the Shuli rabbit hole. That's what he does. He watches clips.
Wait a second. I'm gonna get a pen. Let me write this down.
He's like Harry Chapin, watching clips and getting stoned.
Exactly.
Yeah, I personally, I think I love this idea. Let me see. I'm gonna write this down. Get stoned. And
I think Bob's finally embarrassed. So the fact that he didn't tweet out the 10 o'clock show last night, the last thing he tweeted out really was his show yesterday morning, Friday morning. He did like an out of the coffin, emergency out of the coffin at like 10:30 in the morning. He had a guest on. I guess Bob's done doing solos. Maybe I shamed him half to death, and by sniping him and just be like, this shit's unwatchable. Going to Emaus, he's there. He's probably backstage doing a couple of bumps. Anyway,
they're going to call this. They'll know that this will be known as the embarrassment at Emaus.
No. This will be a win. This will be a win.
Huge win.
So Bob's gonna go there, and then and he's gonna be mad that Shuli wasn't there, because then Shuli doesn't have to deal with the shame of it's a big date. I've been there a couple of times with Bob, once on our honeymoon, and then another time. So I've been there a couple of times. It's a big theater. It's like an old movie theater, has a lot of empty seats, and Bob's gonna show up again, a lot of empty seats, and Shuli won't be there to suffer the humiliation. And so Shuli will be like, I heard you guys killed. I heard it was like we've got almost a full house. You can already predict what's going to happen. They can't travel anywhere because they can't afford to all get pay for airfare and a hotel. So they leave it up to Shuli to fly in, and then even Shuli's like, I ain't coming. It's not worth it.
It's
I'm
a
not
loss.
making enough money.
They're operating at a loss at that point.
Yeah,
Why
and
do that?
if they book it far away where they all have to travel, they're all endangering their own families. You know, there's going to be emergencies in all their families then.
Right.